Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with an Elder Scrolls 6 discussion video. Today I will be speculating about the idea that Elder Scrolls 6 could be a PS4 Neo / Xbox Scorpio exclusive title, obviously the PC as well. And the reason I'm going to be speculating about this is because of some of the interesting quotes I've heard from Todd Howard in interviews that surfaced from E3, specifically the one on YouTube Live, where he talked about Elder Scrolls 6 confirming it, that it was in development, but also saying some things about the technology such as this.
Wondering, your team, what you guys are working on. And speaking of Elder Scrolls, I don't know what you can say, but are you guys going to do an Elder Scrolls 6?
I mean, that's kind of like the elephant in the room always when we talk about anything. And, I think it's good to, in these moments, to tell our fans, yes, of course we are.
Okay.
It's something we love, but it is, I have to be careful what I say. It's a very long way off. I could sit here and explain the game to you, and you would say, that sounds like you don't even have the technology. How long is that going to take? And
so the general hint I got from this interview was that the technology that they need to create what their vision is for Elder Scrolls 6 isn't quite there yet. And I started thinking, is that the PS4 Neo? Is that the Xbox Scorpio? Because during that same interview, Todd does mention how developers have been talking with Microsoft and Sony on how they would like to have these consoles continuously updated, much like the PC that they're used to, where they can keep pushing the boundaries of games. And I thought to myself that I wonder if that means that these titles that they're holding back on, such as an Elder Scrolls 6, are because they're waiting for the PS4 Neo and the Xbox Scorpio, or perhaps if updates become more frequent, the next version of that. It's always entirely possible. Now, mind you, I am entirely aware that both the PS4 Neo and the Xbox Scorpio are not leaving behind the PS4 and the Xbox One, meaning that games that you buy for those specific systems will work on the PS4 Neo and the Xbox One, and vice versa, at least as far as I know. But I think of it this way, ladies and gentlemen. Take, for example, and this is a random example, but the new 3DS, okay? That's the newest model of the Nintendo 3DS, and they have exclusive games that only work on the new 3DS, such as a Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. But then you have games such as Monster Hunter Generations, which work on any 3DS, no matter the type. So you get what I'm saying, where it's the same system, but yet the PS4 Neo, the Xbox Scorpio, the new 3DS, these are upgraded versions of their original software, but most of them can mix and match games. But I wouldn't be surprised if there were certain games that say, you know what, we want to push the boundaries, and this game will only work on the Neo and the Scorpio and PC. And so that's kind of what I'm imagining an Elder Scrolls 6 would be, because the way Todd's wording it, it sounds like they're using a new engine. It sounds like they're really trying to push the boundaries of their next game, because Fallout 4 didn't really do that. It seems like they're actually going for something bigger than they've ever done before, where his exact words were, you don't even have the technology to do that, where I feel like their idea is so out there up in the sky that it would actually sound like he's insane to try an idea like this. A basic look at the specs between the PS4 Neo and the PS4 can show that it's a pretty big upgrade in comparison to the original consoles themselves, and a necessary one at that. We've learned in quite the hard way that this generation didn't quite do the trick for gaming like the big hop between the PS2 and the PS3, or the Xbox and the Xbox 360 that I think gamers are looking for. And so when you look at these specs, I do feel like this is a good enough boost to start pushing games forward, which is why I think we're going to start seeing games exclusively on these platforms that are running in a 4K 60 FPS, that type of stuff. Todd Howard also did appear in the Xbox One Scorpio reveal during Microsoft's press conference, saying that this is a system that can run Fallout 4 on VR at all the possible resolutions and such that they wanted. And I think that alone is exciting to show just how powerful this console is. The real question is the PS4 Neo and the Xbox Scorpio going to be these exact consoles that you're going to be able to open up, upgrade certain parts, kind of like how you could do with the hard drive in the both PS4 and Xbox One? Will you be able to do that in a more extensive way with the GPU, with the memory, that type of stuff in these Neo, in these Scorpios? But that's really all I have to say on this topic. Not a huge discussion, but I think an interesting one that'll get your brain gears turning a little bit, because I feel like this is very well a possibility. They, like I said, could be waiting for even the next generation after the Neo and the Scorpio, because it really sounds like they're holding back, and that these two major projects, if they go how traditional Bethesda Game Studios games go, which is about every 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years, it won't be until the 2020s that we see a Elder Scrolls 6, which is a long ways off. So we have a lot of discussion to have, a lot to speculate about, and I'm sure we'll get our answers soon enough, but I'm looking forward to those 2 major projects they're working on. I'll talk about them in a separate video, but I do feel like we're going to see something in 2017 from one of these major projects. Nonetheless, though, I'd love to get your thoughts on this topic today in the comments down below. As always, please be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, the links are in the description down below. Check out triggerbomb.com, the place by Bethesda fans for Bethesda fans. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.